morning. You had a different author name on your intro and Mary's birthday and
Darn it. I even set it up for Pete's sake. You know what? Oh my gosh. I love that. I'm so mad because I made it in everything and now it's too late to add it.
Well, you know what? It's, I already have 2 names. I'm pretty flexible with my names, so I could be Mary today. I don't know that she'd appreciate that, but it's
You're very kind. I'm so embarrassed because it's
I'm sorry. I should have pointed it out.
I want to click it and but I'm not going to do that because
no, it's fine.
I cannot believe that I made it in everything. I'm so sorry. You know what this is? This is my daughter was sick yesterday.
Right. Yeah,
and I literally had my checklist. I'm like doing all the things, checking all the boxes, and then so I very much apologize. That's not okay.
You know what? I just found last night that I have just been starting the Debbie Charles newsletter. And so, first impression is so important, right? And so I have a little novella for a reader magnet, and I've been sending that out, and I've sent out, a couple hundred of them. The title of my first, newsletter that goes to them, my intro has a typo. And so instead of the Texas tornadoes, it's the Texas tornadoes. And I have 7 different automations set up. I've sent this to like I said, a couple hundred people. So, it should happen. So can I say that?
Thank you. Okay. You're very, very kind. I really appreciate it. I tell you what. Oh man. Well,
but thank you for having me.
I was completely wrong. We do have the fabulous Maggie Sims / Debbie Charles with us this morning. We're going to be talking all about her work. And I cannot wait. We've got lots of friends here already. We have Terry. Good morning, Terry. And Kristen. Good morning. Megan says, hey, Terry, do you know if it's happening now? What? Please tell me. It came on. It came on at the right time. I tell you what. Okay. Hey. Oh, gosh. I don't know, guys. You know what? Thank heavens. It seems I did not postpone it. I love that everybody's like, what's happening?
Man, they are eager. It's awesome.
They're eager and they know me well enough to know.
Thank you, Kristen. I'm happy to be here. This is so fun.
I
haven't done a live thing before. I'm just normally in April on Instagram, but this is my first.
Normally it goes much more smoothly.
Oh,
so I'm blaming my daughter. I'm blaming my daughter.
Absolutely. Poor girl.
She's feeling better. I mean, I think it's kind of a cold because she was wild yesterday. She was a full-time job. Yeah. And that would also explain all of the confusion this morning. So I apologize. And I want to thank you guys for being here. And I swear I made the intro. I want to show you guys later after Maggie's gone, because I don't want to do that to you, Maggie. But anyway, I was like, it's made. It's there. It's ready. No way I'm going to wake at 4:30. No, you're not. No, you're not, Sock. No. Good morning, Molly. And good morning, Wyoming. Thank you guys so much. When in doubt, pin it on the youngest child. Yes. Yes.
There you go. I got all the support. Your daughter doesn't know what hit her.
I tell you what. All right. Well, enough about me and my confusion. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about this. We're going to be talking. Well, we're just going to see where the conversation takes us. But I was very excited to grab this, and I have your Post-it notes as well, and I have your pen somewhere. I'm sure my daughter stole it. Yeah. I was going to be taking notes of what you said on my Maggie Sims Post-its with my Maggie Sims pen. I mean, look at this gorgeous, gorgeous cover. Yeah. And you know what? I'm even going to make it big. We're going to look at it twice.
Okay.
Right here. Oh.
Yeah, this is actually probably my favorite cover of Maggie's books, but don't tell the others.
We will not. We will not. We will keep that secret. We love covers here on the morning show. So let's talk about, we can talk about the cover. Tell us about this book. Let's just see where conversation flows. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Well, this is the first book in my second series. It's a spin-off series from my first. And so this is a this was like the sister-in-law of the hero of the first book, where her husband dies suddenly, and he's a much older brother. Like he's like, I think 10 years older than his younger brother. And his younger brother was kind of a deviant and kind of doing his own thing. Second son, happy-go-lucky, never expected to be an earl. And so he was enjoying his deviancy, and then all of a sudden he has to like find a wife and produce an heir. So that was Sophia Schooling. So this is the widow of like a guy who was barely on the page, right, from the first book. And so she's kind of coming out of mourning, and she goes to a party with some friends of hers, and she sees this young man across the room, and he's just like takes her breath, but he's obviously much younger than she's like, is he even legal kind of thing. And turns out he was 19. He hadn't reached his majority, and he was still in university. So barely, right? And she's like close to 30. And so she's like, nah, plus you couldn't handle me because I have my own little deviancy. And so when he accosts her in the garden, he follows her out. The second party she attends, he follows her out to the garden and wants to talk to her. And she's like, no, you don't get to talk to me. She's like, give me your cravat. And she ties his hands with his cravats, and she leaves. And she's like, he's like, so what are you trying to teach me? And she's like, to talk to children of your own age. And she walks away. And so, it just goes from there. He pursues her, but he is like, I don't know, the best combination of golden retriever and kind of alpha submissive that you could want.
He's a doll. Yeah. He is a doll.
So
yes, I really enjoy his character. Really, yeah.
Good,
he's like, for all the cinnamon roll fans out there, this is A+ cinnamon roll coming at you.
And this was my first attempt at that, and certainly at any form of the woman being in charge, either in the bedroom or not. And so it was. I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah,
I love it. I love it. Now you mentioned. Now, okay, tell us when this is coming out, or is it out already? And
this is actually out. It's been out for a year. In a few days, it'll be officially a year. I think it was March 19th that it came out last year.
Oh,
and
how
then
fun!
The second book in this series, I actually rolled into Dragon Blade's Lion's Den world. So that came out in December. Thank you, Wyoming. I can't take credit. My cover artist did that, but yes, I love it too. Yeah. So the second book is Lion's Lover. It is part of Dragon Blade's Lion's Den, so it has that element of the Lion's Den connected world in it. And it is Charlotte's best friend from this book and William's best friend from this book. So it's a bit of an age gap as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so it does look different.
Yes. Because of the Dragon's Blade, correct?
Correct. Yeah, it has to fit in with their covers more, but I make it obviously in the back of my books that it's part of the series, and that's why I put it on the website like that. So
yeah, I love this. And just to be abundantly clear, it's so funny how when at least in the world that we are in, it tends to be there's age gap, but then there's also reference to reverse age gap.
Nope. No such thing. It's an age gap.
I know, right? Like, what does that mean?
Nope.
I love a good feminist. I love it. So okay, so when you say there's also an age gap in Lion's Lover, are we again I'm not going to say reverse age gap.
So it's age gap, older woman, younger man.
Okay. I like that. Okay. For those of you that are into that, because we don't see enough of that. It drives me crazy when I'm like, ooh, age gap. Oh, but he's 50 and she's 20. I'm like, no.
Right. No. There are age gaps, and then there's craziness. Then there's Sarah Kate, who did that.
Oh my God. You mentioned
there will be a third book in that series, just for anybody who's read either of those books. The third friend in that group is not, so they're both heirs to earldoms, the heroes, but their best buddy from school days is actually working class. His name is Nate Follett, and he goes by Folly. And that will be possibly my kinkiest book yet. And so that's going to come out one of these days, but probably not this year, sadly.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, Terry, I like a working class hero.
Yeah, I know. Actually, so Terry, I will say the book I'm working on now that will be out as part of the Wayward Dukes Connected World, which is an indie author connection. That is coming out this fall, and it is a working class hero again, like second son, like minding his own business, blah blah blah, and but working class all the way. Like, wasn't his mom actually married an earl? That's the only way he was. But when he was already grown, and in fact, she married him in the back of Lion's Lover in the end of that story. But he's working class. All of a sudden, he gets a knock on the door. Hey, you're the new Duke of Rutland. And so meanwhile, the old Duke, or the previous Duke, who was a young man who had died suddenly, as they do back then, had a betrothal contract with the daughter of an earl. So she decides to go undercover in his household as a maid to meet him and evaluate him as to whether she wants to honor this marriage contract. So you've got a working class hero who's suddenly a duke and a lady who's suddenly a servant, and all kinds of shenanigans that can come from that in a disguise.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. We've got some other awesome comments coming here. I love Paige's cinnamon roll hero, strong heroine, and stunning cover. Sign me up.
Yay, thank you.
I love it. Terry also added, I'm working my way through Wicked Earl's Club, and after that, I really want to attack the Lions.
Oh my God. The Lions Den series has like, I don't know, 60 something books. So you'll have plenty to read.
She likes the challenge. So she'll be all over that.
Yeah.
I love the Dragon's Blade multi-author series.
Good.
Very cool. I love the switch up. Yes, I know. I love that too. I just think that's so fun. I love that. Okay, so you had mentioned, let me go back over here. It always does this to me. Okay, I'm going to remove that. I'm going to put this here. I don't know why it does that. You mentioned the School of Enlightenment series, specifically Sophia's schooling. Yeah. What would you like to tell us, or would you like to tell us any more about this series? This looks amazing.
So that whole series came from when I first started to write Sophia's schooling, I was like, I had this idea of like Golden Angel-esque, right? Where, he's the dominant. She's just this little waif that is innocent, and he debauches her thoroughly and likes to spank her and whatever. And I just could not write that. I'm just way too much honest. So I came up with this idea of this school that it's a secret school because it had to be back in the day, that taught women to independence. Basically, it taught them how to advocate for themselves and manage their own money, and of course, own their own sexuality. And so there was definitely a sexual component to the school as well. And men could send their betrothed there. They, could sponsor them. But the women, it was always the women's choice kind of thing. And so, or working women could go there. There were different programs. There were programs for titled ladies, and then there were programs for like a courtesan track, and then later on there became a merchant track. And so the school grew over the course of the series, I will say. So for instance, Sophia found her cousin and his wife getting up to no good in the library, and so she was kind of intrigued. So they're like, and her cousin was best friends with this guy who was suddenly an earl and was struggling with it. And so they sponsored her to the school with no commitment on the earl's part, really. And so then Penelope was her long lost friend from back in the farm where she grew up. And Penelope was on the courtesan track. So she becomes an Earl's heir's courtesan, where he has to marry a proper lady, and he's doing the wife search while he keeps her in a little house. Yeah.
Interesting. And I love this cover, by the way.
Okay. Because his outlet was cooking, and her dream, what she was being a courtesan to do, was to open a bakery, because kind of have to have a bakery in a series somewhere in a romance.
You have to, yes, you absolutely have.
So they would get up to shenanigans in the kitchen, so that's why I put it there.
I just love that. I have another. Let me see if I can share. I really want you guys to see this up close, because I think they will find this fascinating.
Okay.
I've not seen a kitchen portrayed like this. I feel like I'm at like an on-site historic home or something.
Yeah.
Look how, that's incredible.
Yeah,
I love
it's
that.
wild to find that backdrop.
I can imagine. Yes. How different. We love a different cover.
Right.
And of course her dress, my heavens, just beautiful. Just beautiful. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
no, it's fine.
But I'm so
rave about my books any way you want.
I love it. Now, is there more that you would like to say about this series? I don't want to make you feel like you have to give us the summary of every book, but is there anything else that you want to touch on?
No. So the main 4 of the series are people that are really directly related to the school. There's an FF novella that's a spinoff from the series, Helen's House, that is about the headmistress who's been married, but then has a kind of a second chance at love with the horse mistress at the school. So I kind of like to sprinkle in a little things other than just your MF, which is always interesting in Regency. So there's the FFs are a little bit, there's a short story there as well that's Christmas themed, and those are a little bit less spicy. They're still steamy, but they're not erotic or kinky.
Okay.
But yeah, and then Rosalind's Rebellion, the one down just below the fold there on the screen, that is actually free if people want to sign up for my newsletter. So if you want to try this, but you're like, I don't know about this whole kinky thing in the Regency, and you haven't read like a Golden Angel or Annabelle Joseph or one of those, Kate Pierce, then sign up for the newsletter and just give it a try there, maybe.
It's brilliant. Because you're definitely, as I've been reading, you're definitely one of the more spicy authors that I've ever read.
Yeah. Sorry, not sorry.
No, exactly. Yeah. So, but that's the perfect way. I love that you have this opportunity for people to get a sense of what they can expect in your writing.
Right.
That's perfect. And I want to ask you, what has really resonated for your audience in this? You've got these incredible themes that are sort of running through all the work that I'm seeing here. What do you hear most from your audience?
It's a good question. There's a couple themes that are somewhat popular, and that's the bit of a modern take on how a woman could come into her own then. And giving the women a little bit more modern sensibilities, which I think is a common theme across historical romance that are more popular today, right? So the Tracy Sumners and the what have you, there's a little bit more of a the women are going to be more than just wallflowers.
Right.
So that's one thing. I think the other thing is that often, not in all cases, but often there isn't like a villain. There's probably only a human villain in like 1 or 2 books. The rest, it's them against like society's judgment and how like they have to get beyond that to and be strong enough in their love, right? And in feeling loved by the other, right? So the grand gesture has to be there for them to be able to ignore the judgmental society that was in place back then.
Yeah. How important and how needed. I love that.
Right.
I just love the ideas of empowerment. I love Terry's even got a comment here. I love Annabelle Joseph, and I like the concept of the School of Enlightenment. Anything that empowers women.
Thank you.
We're all about it. So what made you want to start writing Regency?
So I come from a business background from my day job that once upon a time, like I'm retired now, but so I was kind of looking at the market back a decade ago, and I was like, well, there's Animal Joseph, and I don't think I'd even found Golden Angel yet. I think she was just starting out. And so I looked around and I was like, well, I had found BDSM contemporary. And so I'd read some of that. And then of course, 2014, I think it was when 50 Shades of Grey hit and all that. And I'd grown up reading historical. And so I'm like, well, wait, only Annabelle Joseph and maybe a handful of others are writing the historical version of the BDSM books. And I'm like, there's got to be a market for that. So my business brain said, there's got to be a market for that. But then it took me like 8 years to like write the first book, learn the craft, write it again. I pretty much wrote book one close to 11 times all in, and it still is not my best book.
Wow.
So if you read Sophia's Schooling, like, please be aware that it's going to get better from there. I'm not embarrassed by it, but I'm just saying, like, it's, it's probably a little longer than it should be, a little more overwrought than it should be. And so, but she's still my first, so I still love her. But
yeah.
Anyway, so she, so by then, the market was, Golden Angel was everywhere, and she's very prolific, and like there's a ton more, Vanessa Vale, and like there's a whole lot of other SM La Valette, tons of very steamy historical authors, which is good. It's getting the word out, and it's more like comp authors for me to then market through and market against. So but that's where it came from. It's kind of weird.
Interesting. Wyoming has a great question here. I feel like names are very important. I've often wondered, how does an author pick names for their characters?
Well, with historical romance, you can't just pick names that appeal to you and have meaning to you and whatever, because in the Regency period, there were the names were generally pretty simple. They were Annes and Elizabeths and Jane and what have you, right? And so you kind of have to find the balance. You want something to be a name to be a little bit unique, but not terribly out of period.
That must be a challenge.
Yeah. So like Penelope was picked without knowing that I was going to write a second book, and without knowing that it was going to be hers. Penelope was picked because her best friend like disappeared. Like she moved, being working class. She moved when her mom married somebody else and went to a different town to live. And so they lost touch. And so Sophia would name like all of her pets versions of Penelope. So Penny was the cat and Nellie was the horse, and so
I love that. I love it. I love what Terry said. Even I don't know if you've ever thought of this or done this, but it could be as simple as to find a 19th century census and check it.
Yes, I go through. Actually, a couple authors have some pretty comprehensive lists of Regency names that they've already researched. So I start with those. The other thing I use is the Wikipedia has a list of like all the dukes and earls and what have you, all the titled lords from any given year, and a lot, but a ton of those were George, right? Everybody was named after the king, and I'm like, I'm not naming a hero George. particularly because I wasn't a big fan of those kings. So, no. So,
Oh gosh.
but they do, there are lists and I do reference those. And then it's like, what appeals to me? What would then maybe be a good nickname? But although they didn't often make nicknames from the first name, they often made nicknames from like a man's title.
Right.
Things like that, or their last name or whatever, or they earned a crazy nickname in school. So I had a little more leeway for the guys for that.
There you go.
Yeah.
That reminds me of when I was reading the Maiden Lane series by Elizabeth Hoyt, and her characters have very, very interesting names, such as Silence, which is in one of the name of the heroine in one of my very favorite books of all time. And I always feel like I need to address the fact that her name is Silence multiple times as I'm retelling or discussing the book, because I think it's confusing otherwise if I'm talking about silence. I'm like, oh, it's a person.
Yeah, maybe she wouldn't have written that name or chosen that name if she was writing it in the day of audiobooks. I don't know. Right? I can only imagine that would be challenging in an audiobook.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So I know you sort of touched on this already. You mentioned Sophia's schooling. It sounds like that was your first book. Is that the first published? Take us through the journey.
Yeah. So I'd been writing that on and off between jobs when I had some downtime for a few years. And I finally took it through like an indie editor and whatever, submitted it and published that with a small house. And that was a great learning process, a great opportunity to start with a small press rather than trying to learn all the aspects of being indie on your own kind of thing.
Right.
So yeah, but it was a lot of iterations because it was a huge learning curve. So that was the process to the first book. I stuck with that small press for the next couple, but Dragon Blade, just to counter this other publisher, does do some advertising for you. But they're another small press where, their editors are doing this as a second job and what have you. So these small presses, like they're trying hard to give authors opportunities, but it's hard for them to make money. It's hard for the authors to make money. And then especially if no one's doing any marketing around you, you're just putting a book out and into what is a bit of a black hole. So I felt like I could take some of that back as an indie author. So by book 4, I was doing indie. And then unfortunately, then you're paying for a lot of money upfront for your editing costs. And so you have to kind of hope that you're going to earn that back. Which is actually, I will say, I'm going to twist this question and take it for myself.
Please.
Which is what led me to create Debbie Charles as an alternate name. So perfect. I was like, okay, I need to try. I just want to try a different subgenre of romance, maybe a little bit more mainstream. So I will tell you, Debbie Charles books are steamy, but not kinky. So far, there's at least 2. But I wanted to write contemporary, and I love sports, and hockey romance was doing really well. And I was like, okay, well, I know enough about hockey that I can write that. It's not just like, I'm not just writing it because it's popular. Like I've read hockey romance for over a decade. In fact, Kate Meter is one of the first ones I read. She writes the Chicago Rebels series. Now she's on the Rookie Rebels series, and she's got a spinoff series as well. And her second book gave me the inspiration for this story, and she's also actually reading it. And I'm hoping she will be able to get me a cover quote in time for the back of the paperback, because she was actually really flattered when I told her that there was a comment in there from the heroine of her second story to the hero where she was dismissing him because he was like this gruff Russian, like thinks he's all that kind of hockey player. And she's like, don't get your panties untwisted. You're going to just end up on Dancing with the Stars, where all, failed out hockey players go kind of thing. And I was like, what if, like, and I knew from reading hockey romance and from watching warm-ups at hockey games that hockey goalies have to be extremely flexible. And so I was like, well, what if a hockey goalie did ballroom dancing to help maintain his flexibility when he couldn't get to the rink and in the off season? And it was also like a thing he had watched with his mom, where a retired hockey star that he loved was on Dancing with the Stars, and so she and he watched things together. And so anyway, so this is him and his dance instructor as my first with Debbie Charles. So it's a whole process. It's like, I don't know. I God bless the author who can actually like describe how their brain works. Sorry, Terry.
No, I love it. And everyone is so different that we've had a chance to interview. It's an adventure just getting to chat with everybody. I just love this. I love this. And I love this cover.
Oh my God. I so love this cover too.
And the colors. Yeah. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So, I also have, I don't know if you want to tell us more about it. Of course, just we'll flow. I'm glad that you're already twisting things the way you want, because that's what I want you to do. Okay. So, but I have the Debbie Charles site up as well, if you want us to go through that. I know you have a second book in the series that you're working on, according to your website, right?
Yeah. So there's actually also here, if you want to try before you buy, there is a novella that's available if you sign up for my newsletter. All about like signing people up for my newsletter, basically.
We love a good newsletter. Yeah.
I only send one a month for each name. So I'm not going to send like weekly stuff. Like if I'm writing, I really want my writing to be for the next book for everybody, not on a newsletter. So thank you. Yes. I love this cover. This is a different cover artist than I use for my historicals. And she was in great demand, and she happened to have a few days around Christmas, and I sent her both the book covers and the ideas and whatever I had, and she came up with these like within like hours. And I was like, yes, how do you do this?
I love it. I love it. And we also get to see, I'm just going to slide on over and for whatever, I'm so sorry. This StreamYard is bizarre because it doesn't want to. I love StreamYard, but there's still a weird thing that it does where it doesn't want to share a screen until I change something else. So I'm getting there. I promise.
That's okay. No.
Here we are. Boom. Okay, this should be perfect.
And so that's the novella. So that's already out.
This is the novella.
That free if you sign up for the newsletter. And it's my first attempt at a truly second chance romance where it's with the same person, where they'd broken up. I know I said Helen's House, where she had a second chance at love after her husband died, and she found love with a woman. But this one is a second chance, and they're young. They're super young. They're both from Sweden. And it was a whole thing of, moving 4,000 or 5,000 miles away from your family and what have you. So, yeah.
Wow. Again, I love that you have the newsletter and that you have a novella. I mean, that's just brilliant. I wish everyone did that. So you get the style and everything. Okay, here comes one of our friends, Sock, with one of my favorite questions.
Okay.
I love this question. She says, I pair books with scented candles on Instagram. What scent or scent family would you recommend to accompany dances with pucks?
Wow. Well, my snarky answer would be sweaty socks, because it's a hockey player and dancers.
Oh, gosh.
Let me think about it for a minute.
I was saying the other day that if somebody asked me this question just off the cuff, I would have absolutely no idea how to answer it. And I'm amazed that, that people are usually able to come up with something like, I would be like, flowers, roses, something. But
I don't even remember what scent I gave her cologne or whatever, but his was a body wash. So I would say one of the milder Axe body washes, like,
there you go.
He doesn't wear a scent. So to me, it'd be like that slightly refreshing, but just clean scent, rather than a scent hockey bag. Exactly.
And
Woo, no,
Sock's
thank you.
excited because she says I have access to
There you go. Bottle it, baby. When in doubt, say sandalwood. I love you guys. Thank you for the help, Terry. I love it. That's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Oh, my
So,
God.
but no, I would say like a clean scent, like a cleanish,
Yeah.
crisp body wash, because that's she notices that on him on a number of instances.
Yeah, I'm just trying to envision, I do like the smell of a hockey or an ice skating rink. I
Yes,
wouldn't know how to describe it, but that's
right.
not my
Well,
gift.
and he does talk about like the smell of the ice, and yeah.
Yes, the
So,
smell of the ice, and then I feel like a ballroom would also have kind of a neat smell,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Does self tanner have a smell? 'Cause
All right. So yeah,
coconut.
I think she, I talk about his scent more because she's his dance instructor. She also is co-owner of the team with her brother and sister. So she's his boss's boss's boss, as they like to say in the book. And so she's like, she can't mess with him. And yet he is the hottest guy she's ever danced with.
Oh, I love
Hands
a good
down.
forbidden romance.
Woo, yeah. And
I love
workplace romance, effectively, right? Secret romance because of that.
Oh, how perfect. I love this. We also sandalwood, leather, and horse is my standard.
That's better for historicals, I think. So.
Right. That's true.
Oh,
Terry does read a lot of historicals. I love what Sock
thank
says. I'm going to
you.
tag you so you can see how I did. I can't wait. You got to let us know. Tag me too. Would you, Sock? Can you tag me too? I'm afraid I'll miss it. I go up to Avon Old Farms and pretend to be a scout just to smell the space.
Nice.
That's hilarious. Well, okay. Oh, good morning, Mary. Sorry, people are popping in. So you're writing hockey romance. You're writing Regency. We spoke actually with an author, Alexa Aston, not too long ago, who she writes contemporary and she writes historical.
Oh,
And
I didn't know she wrote contemporary as well.
she does.
Interesting.
I know.
Cool.
I
All
know.
right.
And the reason I bring her up is
Yes.
because she was talking about how sometimes she would kind of get on a tear and write just historical for a while. And then she'd kind of switch or if she was doing like Highlander for a while and then she'd switch to Regency. And do you find, I know that you're just sort of starting out, but like what's your experience so far with writing one subgenre of romance versus another? Like how are you enjoying that?
The learning curve to write the two hockeys was enormous. First of all, remembering all the little technicalities in hockey and the terminology, like I forget what I had said at one point, but it was, when they take the puck down the ice and they're taking it back and forth with their stick to control it.
Yeah.
I called that dribbling, and my hockey expert was like, nope, basketball term. The dribbles A. So I was like, okay, fine. So things like that, but also well beyond that, just from a writing perspective, I went from writing third person past, dual POV, right? Both the male and female POV alternating, but third person past to first person present. And holy, that is so different. Like you are in that guy's brain and you're like, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And she's freaking smoking, and just, wow. And so then I'm trying to master this. I get halfway through a scene and I'm back in past tense and I'm like, God damn it, or I start a scene with she and I'm like, nope, it's me, I.
Yeah.
And so then I handed off to a critique partner, an early reader, and she's like, dude, you gotta stop writing things out. You can use contractions now. And I'm like, oh, that's right. I can use contractions in contemporary. I was like, I don't have to say I am not blue, like
that's
just
too
really
funny.
Crazy little things that make or break the tone of a book, right?
Yes.
And so, then she's like, okay, now you got to go watch like Outer Banks or something and get some modern lingo because you sound like you're 60 in this. And I'm like, well, I'm 3 years before 60, so it makes sense, but
Right. Oh, how funny.
Yeah, so it was definitely a huge learning curve. Now, I've just gone back to writing the historical, the Wayward Dukes one, right? With the
Yes.
working class guy that's suddenly a duke. He and that is like comfortable, like a pair of fuzzy socks. It's like, oh, I can do this, blah blah blah, and so I'm very nervous about flipping again from that into writing the next. And in fact, I had just wrote the blurb, or a very, very preliminary blurb for book 2 in this series, because I have a first scene from the hero of book 2 and a first scene from the heroine of book 2 in the back of this book. And so I want to be able to put up a pre-order for it so that people can just go and click if it sounds good, if they liked this first book.
Yeah.
And I wrote it in third person. And I'm like, wait, what am I thinking? I got to rewrite it in first person. So.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, I mean, I've seen contemporary written in third person, but what made you decide to do first person present tense?
I probably should have done first person past. That's a little bit easier. But really what I found was, I've read, like I said, I've read a ton of hockey romance. I love it.
Yeah.
And the ones that I connected with the most were the ones in first person present. I will also say that my business background kicked in, and I basically went through the top 100 hockey romances on Amazon, and I said, which are in first person, which are in third, almost all were in first, and then which are in present. And so and then which are in KU, not versus wide. So this one will be in KU, whereas my Regency, with the exception of Lions Lover and one short, those are all wide. So it was, to some extent, like this is writing to market. I do want to become profitable, and writing historical is a very, very, very long road. And I'm not sure I would ever get there to profitability, honestly, particularly because I went so spicy. And so I'm really in a unique a niche sub genre. Yeah. But I'm trying to write more mainstream and writing something else I love. So I'm not just going to go write for the sake of writing to, something random. There's a couple of hockey romances that I could name that I will not, that, don't even have hockey on the page, but they wrote it with a hockey player in it because like they were trying to capture. And I'm like, no, this is terrible. And the author did get dinged for it. The one,
did she?
Yeah. So, which is unfortunate because she's a fantastic author, right? And so, anyway, so this was like a whole process of like, well, if I'm gonna do this, then if I'm going to do this, I want to do something I love, but also something that could lead to profitability quicker. And so, so I did do a bunch of research, and that's why I chose first person present. And it is also something that I feel like you just get fully absorbed in the characters that way. There's a slight distance, but with a historical, there kind of has to be, right? I mean, you're never going to like fully put yourself into, a place with no penicillin and no bathrooms.
Right. No.
Practical brain.
I love that. That reminds me of, did you ever see, oh golly, it was Midnight in Paris. Did you ever see that? Oh, okay.
No.
Well, then that makes no sense.
Sorry.
It was not at all. No. It was very popular.
Some of your listeners did.
I'm assuming so. But it was about, this person who's all about nostalgia and wanting to travel back in time. And then he actually gets to. And he realizes perhaps this is not the place for me because there's no antibiotics, for example.
Right. Well, and I feel like Outlander did a really good job of that, right? So just kind of given the pros and cons.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Terry asked a question that actually I'm really intrigued to talk a little bit more about this. She says, "Do you think you could do better in the HR market if you were not into kinks?" And I love that, it's so funny. Everybody talks about in the booktube world as well, niching down,
Right, right,
and
right.
and so, for example, you would have maybe closed door historical romance authors, ones that are into kinks. And I think,
Right.
it's nice that the market can serve everyone with every interest and every style. But when you niche down to a point, do you feel like that serves you better, or is that, well, how do you feel about that? Or is that too tricky a question?
Yeah. I might. I think I could do better if I signed with Dragon Blade, which they invited me to do a year and a half ago. And at that point, I wanted to go through the Lions Den process that I had already been accepted into, to see how it did, and
Yeah.
and also how it was working with them. And there are definitely some, there's always nuances with working remote with contractors, especially when some people are doing that their job part-time. I would say I'm doing my job part-time, that kind of thing.
Sure,
So,
sure.
but I did get my first check from them, and it was bigger than any of my other checks. So I will say, in that sense, I can see a path there now if I want it.
Yeah.
I had already started down the path of this, and
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea of balancing these two things. But if I was to stay indie and to just write and to go into steamy rather than erotic, I don't know that. I think it would still be a very long road to profitability. Number one, wide is always a longer road. So when I say wide, I'm sorry for anybody who's not enmeshed in the world of publishing as much as I am. It means I'm available on a number of platforms: the Barnes & Noble, Apple, Google, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Versus just on Amazon, and therefore available in Kindle Unlimited. And so the road to profitability, if you go out on all the platforms and don't give Amazon all of your eggs into their basket, is longer. It is. But let's say if I buckled down and wrote a new reader magnet, and then I put Rosalind's Rebellion, that novella that's there for the newsletter now, out of a perma-free, I would probably pick up more readers. It's all about growing your audience. And as an indie author without like a Dragon Blade, it is harder to grow your audience. And it just takes so long. Kindle Unlimited, the upside is you've got this crazy wide audience who are always looking for, like, if they read a certain subgenre, they're going to try, because they're going to try everybody, because it's big fat free to them to try. On the other hand, they're not as loyal. And so for me, who to the author, right? So for me, who only put like maybe 2 books out a year, and I'll probably put less per name now. I usually put about 3 books out, which means either Maggie or Debbie are not going to have 2 books in a year, right? Sure. So for me, who writes slower than some of the folks in KU, they're just going to go find other authors and potentially forget about Maggie. So there's a lot to consider in it all.
Sure. Absolutely.
This way, I hopefully will have the best of both worlds. I'll have contemporary as well as historic, and I'll have KU on the one side, but I still have my my broader audience beyond Amazon.
That sounds brilliant. I can tell that your business brain is, friend Tara would say, braining.
My business brain is incredibly frustrated because I've been doing this for now really 4 years, and I am still spending thousands of dollars more than I'm making every year.
And we hear that. We've heard that so many times. We had this conversation with Andrea Janelle not too long ago.
Yeah.
And she was talking about just the hope, or maybe it was Nikki Pasquarella. I'm trying to remember. I know my audience will remember, but just the idea of breaking even, and when does one break even? And just so often it's about getting your voice heard and telling a story, but it isn't always about making a lot of money unless you're like the Emily Henrys of the world or the
Right,
you know,
right,
the
exactly.
Pattersons and the Stephen Kings and
Well, and I was incredibly grateful to a few bookstagrammers and actually a few authors, including Kate Meader, the hockey romance person whose books I will forever suggest to people. She went out in her newsletter, and also a couple bookstagrammers went out in their account with like, hey guys, this Amazon boycott, I get it. We all want to do the right thing. And, it is frustrating to see what's going on in the world today, but you're going to put indie authors out of business. And I literally had my first sale of March yesterday. Like I've never gone almost 2 weeks without a single book selling. And I'm scared. I'm scared about how this is going to go from here, to be honest. And a lot of indie authors are, and I'm lucky. I'm retired from the corporate world. I am not trying to do this as income replacement, not trying to pay my mortgage with this, or I wouldn't have been losing thousands of dollars every year for the last 3 years. But there are other indie authors who are trying to do this, or who won't be able to write the next book because they can't pay an editor to edit it, or a cover artist to do a cover for it because they don't have the money because they haven't gotten the sales or the page reads or whatever. So it's been a really, really rough couple of weeks, in addition to being a really, really rough couple of months within the US, with this world going on around us. But
right. So, I mean, we
I do apologize.
No, that we love this because it's fascinating for us to get the inside scoop and kind of see backstage, because ultimately what this community is about uplifting authors and celebrating romance and happy endings and positivity. And so my question to you is, as a community, how can we best support you? Like, what advice would you give to us? What should we be doing as readers to support the authors?
Okay, so as readers, first thing you can do is big fat free, write a review. If you loved, because reviews help others find us.
Yes.
So certainly, please, it only has to be 20 words, if I remember correctly, from Amazon. Don't just rate it, actually write the review. And if you want to post that on BookBub or Goodreads as well, fantastic. But even if it's just on the platform you're reading on. Second thing is request the book at your library. Even though you've read it, request it at your library, or requested the next book from the author at your library. On the surface, that sounds counterproductive because you're not buying the book. But if the library stocks one book of a series, readers will read that and maybe go buy the others. Or if the library stocks all the books in a series, we do get paid from that. We get paid a lot less, but that's because it'll be read, the same copy will be read over and over and over. So we get paid, based on that kind of thing. And it gets our names out there, right? If you're on Instagram, just do a quick story of like, read this, loved it. That's all it means, but it gets more people's eyes on it. But those are the things, or tell your friends or tell your book club. I mean, it's just simple things. It's not hugely time consuming. I'm not asking anybody to go knock on Amazon's door and be like, promote this author, like it's
Right.
And so especially for everybody who does do things like, I didn't catch her name, or his name, but the person who said they'll tag me with the candle, flavor.
Oh, yes.
So, things like that are lovely. That's fantastic. What you're doing is, I'm so tremendously grateful for this opportunity, because it gets my names out there, so it's just my Bookstagram community, which is where I found you. Admittedly, we're on a different platform now, but has been beyond amazing. Like, I have this ARC team that is just, and many of them are Bookstagrammers. They're not just readers. And
Mhm.
so that then gets my book to more readers. And so I'm incredibly grateful for the reader community as a whole, because the romance community, I mean, all the authors do try to help each other. I'm in a chat group with Andrea and Nikki, for
Oh,
instance. Yeah. So, but it's just, but we wouldn't be here without the readers, and so they're just fantastic.
yeah. Yeah. I love Megan's comment here. We appreciate knowing what's really going on so that we can give support in the right ways.
Thank
That's what
you.
we
Thank
want
you.
to do.
Yes.
That is what we want to do. That is our goal.
I mean, I love buying local whenever I can. I was more than happy to support the Amazon ban of like the Amazon type goods, right? Like the
Mm,
ones that are branded by Amazon, sold by Amazon.
mm,
Great. And I loved one bookstagrammer posted the idea of, hey, if you want to boycott Amazon, where they make their real money is AWS. It's Amazon Web Hosting Services. And that's where they
mhm.
host the servers for big companies. Well, go find the companies that are using AWS and boycott them, right? But
Ah,
they're not making noticeable money to somebody like Bezos off of either KU, which I believe runs at a small loss for them, and
ooh,
yeah, or from the indie author sales. So changing that is only hurting the indie authors rather than hurting Amazon. So we've
mm,
got to think about a better way to
yeah,
boycott, right?
sure,
So
sure. Yeah, that's interesting. That's really fascinating. Terry says, my library doesn't buy indie authors yet, Terry. It frustrated me. Don't you know how? Wait, you frustrated me. You don't know how.
yeah, yeah. Oh, that is, yeah, but that's up to the librarian, unfortunately. So
Hmm, hmm.
um yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you
Yeah.
guys for the support. See, this is what I mean. Like
Yeah.
the
They're
fact that
amazing. These guys.
these bookstagrammers came out and they were like, "Hey, don't hurt the indie author." Like I was like, "Oh, that's that's so cool."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's great to hear, this, because I wasn't aware until just recently, and then I started hearing all about it. I was like, "Oh my."
yeah,
I'm glad that people are getting out there and
yeah,
spreading the word.
yeah.
So,
I mean,
that's excellent.
and I'm available on other platforms. I know other authors, even if they're KU, their paperbacks are available on other authors, so you can support them. But paperbacks are expensive. I get that. So it's a
Mhm,
challenge. It's a
mhm.
challenge for everyone.
I I just cannot believe that we are almost at an hour
I
right now,
know.
Maggie. Can you believe that? This
I
is
told you I was long-winded.
No, but I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
I do
The
too.
worst is if I were to ask someone something and they just are like, "No." Yeah. Well, okay, next
Never be
question.
me.
So, no, I love this, I love this. But I wanna make sure I don't keep you too long, but some of my favorite questions to ask here at the end, unless, of course, share whatever you want to share that we haven't had a chance. But while you're mulling that over, and if
Uh-huh.
anybody has questions in the comments, feel free. But where can we look for you and what is on the horizon for you? I feel like we've kind of covered this already, but I just want to
Mhm.
make sure. And it is in
Sure.
my description box. I'm going to double check though, because I don't trust myself. But
Okay.
I mean, at this point, um, I believe I have all the links. I have the Maggie
Okay.
Sims links. I have the Debbie Charles links. I've got the Instagram and the websites. Where should we be looking for you?
Yeah. I mean, for social media, I'm primarily on Instagram. I try sporadically to be on TikTok, but as I
Oh,
noted, I'm a few years away from 60, so TikTok is challenging for me. And I don't show my face, which also complicates things.
sure,
I
sure.
don't show my face because I live in Central Texas, which is where the Tornadoes series for Debbie Charles is set. And because of my
Oh,
business background, if I ever had to go back to work, my Maggie Sims books would not work well in Texas.
I see.
The
Okay.
business world. So anyway, yeah, if my husband got
Okay.
really sick, but because we're not on Medicare or anything, like I would have to go back for health insurance. So
I
that's the
see.
reasoning.
Gotcha, gotcha.
But anyway, for social media there, I'm less so on Facebook or any of the others, and my website is pretty much a platform for you to sign up for my newsletter or find my books.
Yeah,
So
great.
that's pretty straightforward. Yeah.
It's
And
great.
then Horizon, I'm still waiting for confirmation, but I'm supposed to be at Branson for the Tropicon Branson, Missouri, for Tropicon Branson in early May. So if anybody's in that area, come out and
Fun.
see me. Or even if you're not, come travel and see me. And then Booked in Chaos, which is already like flying. It's so well organized. I'm really excited about that. Is in South Carolina in November. And I will definitely be there along with a few of my friends so I can introduce you to some other fabulous authors.
Oh, how
Yeah.
wonderful.
So those are the two places where I will be in person. So you can actually see my face.
I love it.
And yeah, and then other than that, the Dances with Pucks that you'd shown the first full length of Debbie Charles, that's out in a month. It's out April 16th. It's final. It's just being formatted and finalized now.
Love it.
And it may even have an audiobook. I'm so
Oh,
excited.
how fun.
I know. A friend of mine offered to give it a try. And I was like, well, okay. So we'll see. No promises because I want her to be able to opt out because I know it's a ton of work. And I think she knows it's a ton of work, but how much work, may be in question. So
Yeah.
But yeah, that's out next month. So
exciting.
Yay.
I'm so thankful that we could talk about all of these.
Yes,
I love it.
thank you so much for having me. Yay.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely. So thrilled. And I also want to show you this. Stacy Hoffman says, I loved Charlotte's Control.
William.
I
I
know,
know,
William.
right?
Love William.
Thank you, Stacy.
Yes.
You'll see I hope you read Lion's Lover then, because Luke South, his buddy Luke, gets his comeuppance with Belle, Charlotte's best friend. So yeah.
Oh boy. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you again so much for being with us this morning and for being
really
so
appreciate
flexible.
You having me. And
I tell you, it's been great. And I apologize for the issues in the beginning.
Oh,
you're so wonderful.
I shouldn't have said it.
No, I'm glad.
Not a big deal.
I tell you. So yes, but thank you again for your time. And we're going to be looking for you. We're going to be looking for ways to support you and your amazing work. So I really
thank you. Thank you everybody for joining. Have a great day.
Yes, you too. Bye. And we are going to right now, believe it or not, even though it said in the initial that we were going to be celebrating Mary's birthday, we're going to be celebrating Kristen's birthday. She has asked for us to play some Irish music. So we are going to be doing that. And we're going to be doing that right now before we go into some sprints, which are also going to be Irish themed because St. Patrick's Day is on Monday. I can't even believe we're already there. So let's get ready to celebrate Kristen's birthday. And when we come back from sprints, by the way, Kristen, I want to know how your birthday was. So get ready, guys. Let's do it. I love it. Yes. Oh my gosh, Kristen, why is this so big again? It's always like, "Hello, there I am." Okay, that's a little better. We're always so excited to celebrate you, Kristen, and I just hope you had a great birthday. And yes, when you could even type if you want during sprints, or you could tell us afterwards. I want to hear how your birthday was because it was actually on the 11th, I think, when we were celebrating Mary's. So I want to hear all about it. We're going to be doing the four-leaf clover fields again today, guys, where we're going to be growing some clovers. And when we come back, Sock's going to be joining me live because she's created something super fun about our mascot. Remember how we're going to be voting? We're going to have so much fun. I cannot wait. And I'm so happy that Sock is going to be joining me because she's taken this to the next level. I cannot wait. So, and you know what's funny? Sock was talking to me about an ad blocker too. I need to probably research that. We're going to share the screen, go into the fields. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do 30 minutes. So, Sock, if you're counting, we're gonna have you come on at 11:10. You can jump on a little bit earlier. Yeah, because you're in my time zone, the 10 for everybody that's not in the Eastern time zone. Sorry. But Sock and I both are Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to stop talking because this is not helping anyone. Let's go ahead, get started, get some productivity done. We'll come back. We'll talk about what we read, what we did. Yeah. And then we'll have some fun. Oh, you can tell us who you are, by the way. Let's see who you are. I'm going to be very mustache sharp. Okay, so fourth leprechaun won. And guess who's here? It's Sock. Hey, Sock.
Hi, how's it going?
Great. I'm so glad you're joining us. I'm so excited.
It's
I'm so
always it's always. I was gonna say it's always a good time, but this is the second time.
It is.
Well,
It is.
for this,
Right.
I did
Right.
it members only.
Oh,
Hi,
right.
bye. Oh,
Yeah.
just I keep answering the comments that are on your
Oh!
video
No,
because
that's great. Look, you're always a step ahead.
hey,
Hey,
happy
Fab.
birthday, belated Kristen. Hey, Paige.
Yeah. In fact, I see that I think she even told us there's a bunch of things that happened while we were away. I'm going to glance at these
Well, I
really
know
quickly.
she said some of the stuff she got up to,
Oh,
and then
good.
I asked for a present inventory, and
I love it. Your tree all lit up. I don't think I've seen your tree lit up. I love it. And which tree is this? Which one?
this is the spring tree.
This is the spring tree.
When I was on the show a couple of weeks ago, that's the one that I had just denuded it from being a Valentine's Day tree, and now it's a spring tree.
I just love that. Mr. Musketeers must have. Yes. So 4-1. And I remember that when we did this earlier, there was no sound. I'm so sorry about the dogs. Anyway, so it was kind of a surprise that we were just finishing up, but here we are. So Kristen says there was cake for her little brother because she's not a fan of cake. Who's not a
Yeah.
fan of cake?
And I was like, well, if she doesn't want cake, then that's good that she didn't have it. But it's also very generous for her to make sure that there was cake for little bro.
I know that really is. Oh, and Kristen won. I just realized.
I said I was rooting for the one with red facial hair. But secretly I was rooting for number 2. And
Really?
so I could claim that I was rooting for number 4 all along.
Yeah.
But I was not.
Mine is dead last. But that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Okay. This was where here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Why does number 3 look like Frankenstein? I know.
All he needs is a bolt, like right there.
I know. Stacy won also. Yay.
Nice.
So, okay, because I didn't get a chance to read this yet, and I'm going to remove this so I can actually see you, Sock. Sorry. I received a book. A friend made me a box of goodies. Another friend sent Golden Girl stuff. Oh, fun. And then I bought myself a gem doll. Oh my gosh, gem. And a foot and leg massager. Ooh. And flowers. Oh, I love it, Kristen.
Nice.
I love it. Gem, she's truly outrageous. Truly, truly, truly outrageous. I actually have that shirt. I think I wore it a couple days ago. My sister and I were huge Gem fans, and so I bought both of us matching Gem shirts. Sock, were you into Gem at all? No? Okay.
I didn't grow I'm an American, but I didn't actually, for the most part, didn't grow up in this country.
Oh, that's right.
And also, I think I might have been a little old for Gem and the Holograms. I'm not sure.
Okay. She was all the rage in the mid 80s.
In the mid 80s, I was already in high school.
Okay.
But anyway, like I said, I didn't get exposed to it through other people because we had limited access to American television in those times.
Okay. That's so fascinating. I love that. Kay Simmons, good morning, Noon. Good morning, Kay Simmons. Happy Pie Day. It's Pie Day. I totally forgot.
Oh, yeah. We got plans.
What do you get? What are you making or having? Do tell.
We're having a shepherd's pie. It's a special shepherd's pie from Lyman Orchards, which is the pick your own apple place in the next town over. I was there the other day and they were giving out samples of their shepherd's pie, which includes like just insane amounts of cheese and bacon.
Yes.
As well as the ground beef. And I think it's in a pie tin. I think it has the mashed potatoes on top, but I think it actually has a pie crust underneath.
Yummy.
Because usually when you get shepherd's pie, it doesn't, but this one does.
Right.
And yesterday I went to Crumble, and one of their offerings this week is one of those, sometimes they do a mini pie. This is a mini key lime pie.
Stop. Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's true. It's all true.
I need to change my plans today. This is
In fact, the
exciting.
shepherd's pie during the sprints, I went downstairs and started the oven preheating. And then when I went down to get my coffee,
Yes.
I saw my mom had actually already popped the shepherd's pie in the oven. So.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, I love it. That's so funny. It's Pie Day. I love it. And today, I don't know if anybody does the New York Times, like the games online, but my husband's obsessed. And we were playing this morning and it was all about pie. And it did not even occur to me that would be why. And I just texted him and he goes, yeah, I know. I'm like, well, someone clue me in for the slow.
He probably assumed you did too, you know?
I know exactly. Why would I know anything today? Apparently, I don't know what's happened to my brain today. I tell you. And Maggie came on via chat to thank us. I really enjoyed having her on. She was really neat.
Yeah, I pre-ordered the 2 hockey books.
Oh, yay! Oh, we'll have to tell her.
Well, she has a special on. And I also followed her on Instagram where I saw she has a special on for pre-ordering the electronic ones.
Yes.
So sales deals, 99 cents each.
Thank you, Sock. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Or apparently they will be available on Kindle Unlimited as well. So, which we can now feel okay about using again.
I know. Yeah, I just listened to people talk about things on both sides, and I'm like, wait, oh no, I don't know. What should I do? I just want to know.
What do I even do here? Yeah.
Stressful. Just want to do the right thing. See, now the coffee's kicking in. Do you know what I just did? Because I already had 3 mugs of tea. I was afraid. But I found dark chocolate with espresso nibs in it. I was like, done. Done. I'm going to be ready to go for the rest of the day, I think. Abby Jean, hey!
Hey, Abby Jean.
Oh my gosh, and happy birthday. That is so cute.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Except that it turns out Kristen doesn't like cake, so we'll have to put a note that next time we put on pizzas or something. I don't know what she does like.
You should do pie, Kristen. My husband doesn't like cake either. We do pie. And how perfect that you're so close to Pie Day. And I love, Sock, that you have a shepherd's pie when St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Brilliant.
Yeah, we'll probably have leftovers for that.
I
Hey,
love
bye.
it.
Hi. Yeah, I already said hi to folks, but hi again. Hi, Kay Simmons. Thank you. This is the pale blue one because it goes with nighty.
I love it. I love it. We need to do like pajama day or something.
Every day is pajama day, Mama Jamma.
I love that. Yeah. Oh, she wanted to know about the goods. Yes. Listening on my phone as I walk the dog. Oh, yay. So now Megan's enjoying our podcast that we just.
It's Dog Central. Hey, Megan. Barkity, barkity. Pass it on, please.
Yeah, she told Silly that the other day, too, I heard. Yes, you do need a gem shirt, Kristen. And she made shepherd's pie.
Nice.
What do you know? I love it. Dee says, hi, all.
Let's have a buddy mukbang.
Right?
We both have YouTube channels. We can do this.
There we go. That would be something.
Buddy eat.
That would just be a mess. That would just be a mess. Hi, all, says Dee. I don't know where my brain is today. Just signed in at 2:30 p.m. So missed all the early Maggie Sims, but I'll have to watch the replay. Yes, please. And apparently I put the wrong time on or something. So
it's at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. Anyway, Dee, it was a great interview.
Yes, it was.
Maggie Sims is a good interview subject.
Yes. Yes, she is. She is. We covered some really neat topics we hadn't really talked about as much. So I love that. Good morning, Spooky Library, Chantel. Ooh, I love your profile pic. And I love Spooky Library.
I like the Spooky Library.
I think we need to know more about this. We need to know, if you're still here, tell us more. The key lime pie is delicious. Oh, I love it.
Yes, it's true. We've had it before and we liked it.
Oh, I am going to be bouncing all over the place. I love
as opposed to your usual catatonic state.
I tell you. Well, yesterday.
Barkity.
Yeah, cute. And I love the poodle. I love the poodle. Pie, ice cream, and brownies. Okay, that sounds like a winning combination.
Well, you can have a birthday brownie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Dee, I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on the Maggie Sims interview. Yeah. So today, is it today? Oh, the Spooky Library. Your cats look like mine. Oh, I love that. Yes, they do, Terry. Oh my gosh, I love it. Yeah, I don't know if she's still here because this was a little bit ago, and I know people bounce in and out. But so Fabio's birthday is either today. Let me double check because while I'm here, I can glance at my calendar. Let's see the calendar. I wish I had it right here. Again, I need the cocoa nibs need to really. Oh, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow is
Oh,
Fabio's.
great. That gives me enough time to make a giant, I can't believe it's not butter sculpture of him.
Thank you, Terry. Terry's always keeping me honest. So I just wanted to share really briefly because I think we're going to spend the vast majority of this time because it's running out. But Sock has done some incredible work. And that's why I was like, Sock, you have to come back. We have to share because we're going to be voting for our mascot picture of Silly. But Sock has done some really cool things to take this to the next level. Before we jump in, though, I just wanted to at least celebrate Fabio's birthday with this book I got at a random used bookstore at a teeny town in the Shenandoah Valley. This is Champion by Fabio.
He is the champion, my friends.
It's true. And also, what I love too, feel the power of his passion. I mean, how could you not? Really. And are you guys ready? This is gonna be.
He's got a really long top stroke on his F.
He does. He does. Yes. Okay.
Oh, that was a little blue, a little late night.
Check this out. It even said he's got a note to us in the book. My love, I wait for you, Fabio. But guess what? It gets even better. Are you ready? It's a centerfold.
Oh my God, it's a gatefold step back.
Right? Oh, is that what it's called? I love that.
I think those are called gatefolds.
That sounds great. I'm going with it. We are going with it.
If only it were also a pop-up.
Oh, that's what we need.
I honestly did not plan for that to come out that way. I mean, as I was saying it, I was like, this is not great. It's probably a good thing that it's not a pop-up. So sorry to, sorry, I'm just sullying everybody's morning ears all over the place. Or afternoon ears in some cases.
That reminds me of when we did our members show on Sunday, and what did you say? Something like self-censoring. I don't know her. Or what did you?
Self-editing. I don't know her.
Self-editing.
I don't know her.
I don't know her. Yeah.
I have many strengths. That's not one of them.
Oh, you do have many strengths. I love this though. The back, it also says surrender to the power of love with the most desired man in the world, Fabio.
Ryan Reynolds? Oh, sorry.
So anyway, there's 4 of these, and of course I need all of them. And I was just so excited to grab this. I actually spent extra. I think this was like $2. So.
Well, Abby Jean has reminded us all of the goose in the room.
Yes.
That goose, Canadian. I don't know that it was actually a Canada goose, but
I think it was.
Wasn't somebody saying that somebody's mom had met Fabio?
Hannah Blackwell.
Hannah Blackwell.
She is the best.
Thank you, Vi. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And I don't want to miss anything. I know. Okay. So when we talk to Hannah on Tuesday, Hannah's coming on Tuesday. And so we'll have to ask her about her mom meeting Fabio. I think that's amazing. Okay. So
you know how to tease a clip. You know how to, promote that live stream. You know how to tease it. I got my own promotions too. So
I'll just plug your stuff.
Well, it does have to do with my weekend plans. So if we have time to get into that.
Oh, okay. Fun. Fabio flirted with Hannah's mom. I can't wait to hear all about this. Oh my gosh, super fun.
That's the most awesome your mom story I've ever heard.
Yes. Okay, so today I'm hoping we have time to vote for our mascot picture of Silly. And Sock has prepared something pretty incredible. And I kind of tweaked it a little bit, sock, because
Okay.
that way I wanted to make it nice and
Yeah.
big as I could.
Oh, okay. I should have thought of that, but
No,
fine.
no, it was super
Fine.
easy. It was super
Fine.
easy. So,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. What do you want to do?
Okay.
You
I
wanna
just
read
want to preface this by saying on Tuesday, I said I would write summaries for those covers. But then when I thought about it, I was like, well, that's getting into a whole Fabio silly pairing. And I don't know. I don't want to be on that ship. So instead, I am happy to reveal the new project that
Yes,
Silly is undertaking.
yes.
Silly's Choice, an exciting box set of Silly's favorite Johanna Lindsey novels of the 1990s, now featuring partially all new covers starring Fabio and Silly her own self.
Yay! Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Stacy said, my late grandmother used to go out to dinner with a man named Fabio. She was in her late 80s at the time. I never met him, but in my head, I absolutely pictured him as the Fabio. I'm sure that's who it was. Okay, so let's get into this box set, sock. I'm very excited.
Okay. Now, first up, we have Gentle Rogue. The heroine, Silly, this is what Silly has to say about each of these books. So I
Okay,
just
got it.
translated it from Barkity to English.
Thank you.
The heroine disguises herself as a cabin boy, and the ex-pirate hero has never known love nor passion such as this. Curl up with a milk bone for this 5-star read.
And that is Gentle Rogue.
Gentle Rogue.
Gentle Rogue. We also have Angel.
Angel, the third book in Johanna Lindsey's Wyoming series.
Oh.
So, of course, I love this tale of a frontier feud getting totally out of hand, and our heroine hires our hero as a bodyguard. Sign me up for all of that action.
That's awesome. Then we have book 3, Surrender, My Love.
More fussing and feuding, and I am here for it. I went absolutely medieval on this tale of an English lady who keeps a Viking in her dungeon. But when the tables are turned, what will he do with, to, and for her? I devoured this like it was an unattended pile of sausages. Barkity is a surprisingly nuanced language.
Yes. It is surprisingly. We also, we cannot forget the tan pants. Thank you, Abby G.
Yes, I didn't have quite enough space or I was doing this, fairly early in the morning because that was when I was up and doing things.
Yes.
And I didn't have quite the mental wherewithal to convert this into a joke about how Silly likes this cover, even though there are no pants for her to grab with her teeth. You know how dogs will sometimes do that?
Yes.
I mean, there are pants.
Right.
Maybe. But they're tucked into boots. Maybe, if there even are pants.
Maybe, yes.
This is a pants off, dance off, I'm telling you.
Pants off, hands off. Tan pants were staples in a gentleman's wardrobe at the time.
And now we know why.
And now we know why. Yes, we do.
And then we're talking about You Belong to Me. Arranged marriage? Hero who pretends to be a cad to put off a fiery and beautiful freethinker heroine? This is definitely one book I'll only chew on mentally. She's not going to eat the cover.
Thank goodness. I wish my dogs would always get that memo. Oh my gosh.
The magic of you. She wants to get with the straight-laced ship's captain who once got her uncle nearly executed for piracy, and he's skeptical of her advances in light of their family feud. I can't get enough of this kind of dispute resolution. It's nearly as good as a frisky walk followed by begging strips I don't actually have to beg for. There was also a joke in there about how when it comes to this dispute, this book puts the D in mediation, but I couldn't quite make that happen.
Yes.
I wish I had not spoken. I chose to say those words. I should not have made that choice.
You are so funny. It's bacon.
Yeah. Bacon strips. It's bacon.
I remember that ad. That's a great ad. Kristen. Oh man, I love
Okay, and
this so much.
finally we have, this is the one I threw across the room. The Lysanter science fiction warrior series is not for everyone, but I love this tale of a high-tech soldier heroine finally finding her match in a primitive warrior who is willing to help her free her homeworld from dystopian tyranny. I barked my way through this metaphorical field.
That's
So Silly got something out of that I did not.
yes. Well, she's very deep. She's very,
I actually have a different cover for this, I think. Oh, no, that's the one I had to get that as a hardback large print from the library. And it had like the cover just like had these like a little bouquet of flowers. It was the large print, and it just had a white background and this sad tiny little bouquet of flowers just for no reason.
Yeah. Oh, that's too funny.
But that famous one of Fabio with the leather pants and the giant sword.
Yes.
That's the third book in the Lysanter series. The one where the lady is like hanging out around his belt buckle area.
Yes, it's very like 80s hair metal band.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, that's the third book in Lysanter. The second book is the one where they're embracing on a red bed with like red drapery on them. It's very striking use of color there.
Oh, yeah.
That's Heart of a Warrior is that one, and I can't remember what the third one is called.
Oh my gosh, I love it. How about this? Wyoming says Silly loves Fabio and begging strips.
As Kristen Lee reminded us,
yes,
it's bacon.
But then Mary goes and says, I can't believe it's not bacon. Oh my gosh, Mary, I love it so much. Okay, so what we're going to do, because I need to throw this on. We're going to vote for our favorite picture, our favorite mascot this morning, because we do have time. I have a little bit of time before I have to go. Thank heavens. So here is, I will show you the oh my gosh, brain. Where is it today? It's not here. It's come away from. Anyway, why am I talking? You know what, Sock? You make me feel better when you're like, I wish I hadn't used words. I agree.
Well, it wasn't that I wished I hadn't used words generally. Those specific words in that specific order.
Words. Yes, same. Okay, so now we're gonna, because this is what happens when I'm tired and I'm also trying to do anything, like two things at once. Okay, here we go. Bam. All right. So I'm going to let you guys vote for this in just a moment, but basically we're just picking our favorite image of Silly that will then be the official mascot photo of Silly for the morning show. Which is best? The close-up of Silly in an adorable outfit. We also have the covers, Gentle Rogue, aka Gentle Silly, Angel, aka Silly Angel, Warrior's Woman, aka Warrior's Puppy, The Magic of You, aka The Silliness of You, Surrender My Love, aka Surrender My Silly, and the last but not least, and other. Now, and You Belong to Me, aka Silly Belongs to Me, which I just think only really Wyoming can say that. So we are going to take this. We're going to copy the link. I'm going to shorten it because it's awfully long. Copy. I'm pasting it inside. Right. I know, I can't stop laughing. I know Sock did an amazing job, didn't she? So great.
Thank you.
So great. So I'm going to pop this right here. The link is here. You guys can click on it and vote. Oh, we've already got a vote.
That's me.
Oh, good. And I'll just say,
no, this one is me. There we go.
Okay. If everyone could just vote once, that would be lovely. Just to
say,
I
just voted the one time.
Do what?
I only voted the one time.
Okay, no. Well, I'm not saying that because of you, just because I feel like I know there were other times that maybe some people voted more than once. I don't know, but I just feel like I should probably at least say that. Oh my gosh, look at this. Okay, now I have to think about
it's a fast-moving situation here in the Situation Room. Decision 2025. Decision 2025 is coming down to the wire. Well,
it is. It really is.
Oh.
Oh man, I can't wait. I'm gonna vote too. I need to vote too. Let's see. Okay, I need to give everybody another minute.
Are you going to reveal it now, or do we have to wait and just see the official debut?
No, I'm going to reveal it. Yeah, I'm going to reveal it now. I'm waiting because we have 18 people watching right this minute. There's been 11 responses. So I'll wait a few more responses, and then we'll go ahead and announce it. I'm excited. Okay.
I can't even tell who's winning because there are 2 blue dots, and I can't tell which one is.
Oh no! Okay, let me see if I can.
Well, they're different shades.
Is that better?
Yeah, yeah.
Better. I always forget to do like one thing.
Oh well, it says.
Okay. Let's see. 12 responses. Wow. I mean, we've got the magic of you, aka the silliness of you, is really. I mean, I think it's gonna win.
Nobody voted for the close-up of Silly.
I think it's because they know that Silly just loves Fabio so much. Although, yeah, Silly in that adorable outfit. I do love that one.
I voted for the adorable outfit personally.
Ah. I voted for a Silly Fabio collab, is what I did. I definitely did. Okay. Maybe I'll give it one more minute because we've got a lot of responses. Still not everybody's voting. That's cool. If you don't feel like voting, you don't have to. Done. What does Fabio think? We need to let him know. I'm terrible at these kinds of decisions. Oh no, bye. Oh my gosh. Abby Jean says, I was thinking about that voting issue, and I'm thinking that maybe people were trying to change their votes. Oh, not realizing that. Oh yeah. Again, I love that, Abby Jean. I love that.
That's a very charitable interpretation of
it. Is. I prefer the charitable interpretation rather than who in the world.
You can rely on Abby Jean to come up with the most charitable gloss on something.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's why we love her so much.
It's true. It's true. Okie dokie. I think we're about there. Honestly, we've got 14. Looks like most people who voted or who want to vote have voted. I'm going to close it. Oh. And that means, because we already, at 37.5% of the votes, we have the magic of you, aka the silliness of you.
I thought it was the magic of silliness.
The magic of I like that too.
Yeah, I like silliness of you better.
Oh, the silliness of you. Okay. Let me.
Megan's like, close it before there's a tie.
I know, Megan. Remember that? Oh my gosh, I know. That's why I'm a little more like quick to do it now than I used to be. But let's see. I'm gonna make it nice and big here. Where are we? Because I made a. Oh wait, where's the magic of you? Because I want to make sure we can all see it nice and big. I just love these so much. So here we are.
That's the one I would have voted for if I hadn't wanted to vote for the adorable outfit.
Yeah. I love it. So guys,
this is an adorable outfit, but it looks a little strange on Silly.
I think Silly's pulling it off though,
That dress makes your body look human. It's actually, as Terry will remind us, that is actually her underwears.
That's right. So there you go. So yes, this is it. This is just too hilarious. There we have it, guys. So the audience has spoken. I just love. Abby Jean says that was my second choice. I voted for Gentle Silly. I love it.
Again, are we sure it wasn't Silly Rogue? I'd read that. Heck, I'd marry that.
That's this was so fun and such an unusual thing that we did, but I thought it was really, really fun. So, and I'm looking forward to incorporating this into our show. I think it's going to be great. So, okay, I have sadly only 5 more minutes before I have to go pick up my daughter. That sounds like I don't love my daughter. Of course I do. I'm very excited, but I'm going to miss you guys over the weekend. What are we doing this weekend? Let's talk about it. What are we reading? What are we looking forward to? What are you up to, Sock? Also, you were mentioning.
Okay, well, this is the thing. This is my chance to plug as well, because this is legit. I'm not making this up.
Okay.
This upcoming Monday is one of my Book Talk with Sock live streams.
Book Talk with Sock. That is so perfect.
That's what I'm calling it now.
I love it.
And Book Talk with Sock is, that's going to be Monday, because I'm doing it every other Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Nice.
And we're still working on recommendations and discussion about getting into a new genre. This time it's mysteries and thrillers.
Ooh.
And I am very, very excited because I figured out StreamYard, sort of, and Megan of Megan's Book Nook 519 will be joining me.
That's great.
But I do have a giant stack of mysteries that I need to get to this weekend.
Oh my.
Because I scurried off to the library yesterday. I checked a bunch out, and some of them I've already read, and fairly recently. So I just hold them up as I talk to them. I was telling Megan that YouTube is the official social platform for people who peaked in kindergarten's show and tell and are trying to relive those glory days.
Yes, I can see that. I love that.
And I will tell people that Megan and I tried out StreamYard yesterday, so we know it'll work. So,
nice.
So Megan, now that you're excited to talk about all things mysteries, hopefully the mystery won't be how does StreamYard work. So anyway, I've got like 10 books. Well, 4 of them I've read recently enough that I don't need to worry about them. 2 of them, it's been about 18, 20 years. So I'd like to just kind of flip through them, make sure I feel good about recommending them.
Yeah.
And then there are 4 that I need to read. And one of them I've already finished. And one of them was a rec from my mom. And 2 of them are by authors I've read before, but I haven't read these particular books.
Okay.
Like there's a Frida McFadden that I haven't read yet. So
are you actually going to be reading all of these this weekend?
Well, again, the ones that I have to read that I've never read before, starting from scratch, there are only 3 of those left.
Oh, okay.
And it's between now and 7 p.m. Monday. So I've got
time
today, tomorrow, Saturday, and most of Monday. And so that's what I'm doing. And I'm also doing a vlog about that, which I don't know, probably will be up on Thursday.
Oh, fun.
Sunday is also a vlog. That is a book review and tiara debut.
Tiara debut.
Well, it's sort of, I mean, I did wear the tiara on a live stream because it was a gift from Abby Jean and it arrived during my Wednesday live stream. So I tried it on and everybody saw it, but this will be like the official reading vlog debut of the tiara.
Oh boy.
And that should be up Sunday. But yeah, if you're interested in the live stream at 7 p.m. Eastern on Monday, it's going to be me with Megan, and we will be talking about mysteries and thrillers.
Yay!
And as you can see, Megan's excited. I'm excited.
I'm excited. I think we're all.
But you'll be putting the kids to bed, so.
Yes, this is true. That does make it tricky. That's great. That's great. I'm looking at some of the other comments for this weekend. I'm reading Up All Night with a Good Duke and celebrating my dad's birthday. Oh, fun. That'll be so fun, Paige. I am currently also reading Up All Night with the Duke. With a Good Duke. And I think I'm at like almost 50%. It had been just kind of okay for a while for me at least, and now it's getting more interesting. So I'm enjoying it. I'm excited. I love this. Thank you, everyone. Silly is so honored. Wow. Yes. So
well, she should get an extra sausage for this nonsense.
She should.
It's a modeling fee.
She said a special thank you to you, Sock.
Oh, you're welcome. It was fun. I was like, what breed is Silly? I don't know my dog breeds. And I was like, I have no idea, but I don't know. That underbite kind of gives me Shih Tzu vibes. And then I found out that she's part Shih Tzu. So I was like surprised that I called it.
Right? I know. That's so cool. Look at you. You didn't know how much you knew. I love it. Mary's going to be reading Tempt Me at Twilight before the live, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on Rachel's channel. Rachel Reads and Sings. Cannot wait. Abby Jean, I'll also be reading Up All Night with a Good Duke. Paige, happy birthday to Papa. Book Shack. That's so cute. Oh, Sock, you're so prepared. I'm just going to talk about some I love and grabbed a ton to show. Awesome. That's going to be fun. I hope you enjoyed the book. Thank you, Abby Jean. You're so sweet. I will tell Papa Book Shack happy birthday. And happy birthday to Fabio as well.
Mhm.
Yes. Oh, and Cozy Mysteries.
Yeah, because Megan and I discovered that she kind of gravitates more toward mysteries, especially cozy mysteries, and I gravitate more towards thrillers and psychological thrillers.
Oh,
so there will
that's
be
perfect.
diversity. There will be viewpoint diversity.
That's going to be great. That's excellent. I mean, everybody's
Yeah.
going to win. I love that. And Kristen's going to be filming like crazy. This is the one that won, Kristen. The Magic of You. There you go. Our new mascot. So that's pretty fun. So yeah, I'm going to be reading too Abby Jimenez's book that's coming out in April. It's so good. And then of course, Up All Night with the Good Duke. I got to get through that too. So
I won't
good
be reading
stuff.
that until after Monday.
Oh, smart. Well, yeah, because you're going to be busy. You're going to be reading enough, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have to go. Oh my gosh, already. I feel like this morning flew, but I had the best time with you guys. I hope you have an incredible weekend. Thank you, Sock, so much for
Thank you.
making those awesome stories and the box set and coming on and reading it last minute. I really appreciate you coming and joining. And yeah, we hope
Always
you
a
guys
pleasure.
Yes, truly, truly. And you guys have a great weekend, and we will see you next time. Or hopefully Sunday, and then Monday for Sock.
Sunday.
Sunday for Tempe at Twilight.
Okay.
Sorry, the Wallflowers.
And a week from Sunday for Up All Night with the Good Duke.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Exactly. There you are. You keep me on track. Thank you so much. All right,
No, I was
you
trying to
guys.
keep me on track.
I know. It takes a village for all of us, I think. That's why we're all together.
It does. It
Oh,
takes a village.
It does. It takes a village.
It takes a village and a gallon of coffee.
Yes. And some espresso nibs inside some chocolate. So fun. So very fun. Yes. Happy birthday, Kristen. Oh, and Nicole. Hey. You guys are fabulous. You're fabulous. I love it. Okay. I gotta go. Sorry, guys. But we'll see you soon. Take care. Have a great weekend.